The Threepenny Opera. Bertolt Brecht and Kurt Weill's musical masterpiece, The Threepenny Opera, is the forerunner to many modern musical theatre works and originates from John Gay's musical satire, The Beggar's Opera, written in 1728. Peter Rowe of Ipswich's New Wolsey Theatre and Grey Eye's Jenny Seeley have collaborated to bring an anarchic version of Brecht's theatrical vision to a breadth of regional theatres, beginning with Nottingham Playhouse. Brecht and Weill's original Die Drei Groschen Oper was conceived in the late 1920s and received great critical acclaim. Despite the chaos of creative uncertainty during its creation and the late entry of the song Mac the Knife, it goes on to be performed in theatre spaces throughout the world. As the Weimar Republic came to power, the production exposed the difficulties suffered by the poor and dispossessed. It would be appropriate to say that the paintings and drawings of the artist George Grosz may have great influence in defining the look of the piece in its depiction of cripples and the underworld characters. The work still has economic and social parallels today, and this exciting new, decidedly rock and roll production by Grey Eye brings the story bang up to date, reflecting current economic problems in the UK through text, vibrant and chilling songs, and terrific multimedia projections designed by Mark Haig. Although there is the temptation to find oneself reading all the words along with the action, the system of live text translation works well and actually enhances the show, giving depth to the piece. Likewise, having Jude Mahon on stage by the side of the actors signing rather than at the side of the performing space works well within the piece, and her presence is beneficial, bordering on vital, rather than merely additional or complementary to the action. Grey Eye are a young and vibrant cast, enhanced by old hands such as the charismatic Gary Robson playing J.J. Peacham, the King of the Beggars, which harks back to John Gay's Beggar's Opera, and in parts it is particularly mock opera as well as pop opera. This new production, designed by Neil Murray, has a predominantly greasy, underground, neo-expressionist, black and grey brick blood-stained tone, and is creatively enhanced with projections and BSL interpretation and captioning. It is set slightly in the future, with a new monarch, Charles III, about to be coronated. Initially, at the beginning of the show, after the cast tear down a hanging set of torn and ragged red curtains in the centre of the stage, we are introduced to the central character, Macheath, brilliantly played as a louche, opportunity-seeking and womanizing killer by Milton Lopez. The whole cast sing Mac the Knife, a song normally reserved for one female singer. The new lyrics by Jeremy Sams reflect Macheath's misdeeds and are reinterpreted throughout to reflect modern times, events, and language. This opens the show fantastically, and likewise the powerful ensemble pieces throughout the evening are the electric highlights of this terrific show. Standout performances come from Victoria Uruwari as Mrs. Peacham, Cece Howells as the wronged daughter Jenny, very powerful vocals and great presence, Will Kenning as an imposing Tiger Brown, and Ben Goff as Jake, terrific tap dancing and comic timing, and Sophie Byrne as Dolly, especially strong in the jealousy duet. Satire is prevalent throughout the piece, with reference to happy cripples, always free, always carefree, and within this integrated cast, with some disabled, deaf and blind performers, these references take on a voice of their own and develop an even deeper political and theatrical echo. The mischievous John Kelly makes a fine and anarchic mobile narrator, often deliberately breaking out of character prior to his narrative, and engaging the audience between each act with his blunt advice and witty opinions. The audience loved him. Overall, it is a large cast of actor-musicians, and all appear to be having great lawless fun, telling Brecht and Weil's musical story of corruption exposed and ridiculed. And it truly is a show conceived with magnificence and delivered with brilliance. Anarchic theatre at its best. Threepenny Opera is at Nottingham Playhouse until March the 8th, then New Wolsey Theatre March the 11th to the 22nd, Birmingham Repertory Theatre March the 27th to the April the 12th, and West Yorkshire Playhouse April the 25th to May the 10th. See nottinghamplayhouse.co.uk for full details. And thank you for listening.